Hey guys, it's Pia here. Welcome to my Face Off custom collection video. In this one I thought I would just use my superhero mascot version of my mascot because I actually made this one based on a challenge from Face Off Season 8. But yeah, so as you guys might have already known, I made customs based on Season 8. And then also now I've made customs based on Season 9's challenges, and I'm going to show you the ones from Season 9 because I've sold most of the ones from Season 8, so I thought that there would be no point in showing them again. But yeah, I'm just going to show you all the things and explain all the challenges, so please know that this might take a bit of time because some people don't like it when I explain a lot of things, but for these I kind of have to because I am trying to explain to you where the inspiration came from and what the challenge was. But so let's just get to it, and I'm going to start off by showing you the one from episode 1. So the first custom I made based on Face Off's 9th season is this one. This is a little mineral dragon. The challenge that the makeup artist got in that episode was to make an alien monster, and they actually used 2 actors for the monster instead of having just one model. They had 2. But obviously I couldn't really show that with LPS because, you know, obviously it's a bit different. So I just thought it would be cool to make a head swap and just do this little mineral-inspired dragon thing. If you want to have a better explanation of these challenges and all that and my inspiration, you can check out the videos for each respective custom. But yeah, this one is actually currently up for grabs on eBay, as are several of these, so please check out the link in the description if you want to adopt one of them. But yeah, for this one I used a turtle head and a lizard body, and as you can see I covered it with little patches of kinetite, which I used to sculpt, and I gave it a nice texture, and yeah, not much else to say about it. I find him very cool. So the second challenge of the season was one where they had to make sirens that were deadly but beautiful. And so this is the one that I came up with. It's made from a squirrel or a skunk LPS. And I'm actually keeping this one because I love it so much. If you guys want to see how I made these gradients, I actually have a gradient tutorial based on this custom, so you can check that out. I'm gonna leave a link in the description for that as well. The concept here was that I was inspired by the Japanese manowar, which is this jellyfish looking thing. So that inspired the color scheme and some of these shapes on it. So episode 3 of season 9 was Face Off's 100th episode, and in that one they had couples, actual real-life engaged couples that were going to get married on the show. So they made makeups that were kind of horror or macabre inspired but also whimsical, and for that challenge I kind of had a hard time coming up with anything, so I just went for the first thing that came into my mind, which was Five Nights at Freddy's. As you guys might know, I'm a huge fan of the game and the saga and everything, so I made this animatronic looking lady. She is called Dottie, and she is an animatronic that's supposed to look like the wife of Mr. Pizza, who is the owner of a pizza company. And so when his wife died, he made an animatronic that looked exactly like her. But then the problem was that because he was a very successful man in the pizza business, his competitors took him out. So as you can see, he's been shot here. And that then made the spirit of his wife return to the animatronic, who then went to get revenge and actually also brought Mr. Pizza back from the dead. So they are together in the afterlife, and they are trying to get revenge for the other people who killed Mr. Pizza. So yeah, that was a very long story, very elaborate, but as you guys know, I make my customs for a reason. I come up with stories for them, and I kind of actually really love it because it's a lot of fun. These are also up for grabs. They are actually the ones that are being sold as a group because I could never separate them. Just look at them. They're a happy couple. So the challenge in this episode was that they had different mashups of classical books. So you had, for example, Sherlock Holmes' Bloodsucker. So obviously Sherlock Holmes is a classical piece, but then they made this kind of new version of it with vampires. Or that was the idea in the challenge, so they had to come up with these new things. And so For mine, I just chose this kind of zombie voodoo thing mixed with Robinson Crusoe. So this is my Voodoo Friday, and as you can see, I don't have a video of him because I already traded him with my friend Shannon. So he has been given away already. He was a lot of fun to make, and I love the little flower crown on him. So for the 5th episode, the makeup artists were again doing things in a team, so they had 2 characters that they had to make. The theme of the episode was that they had these really cool gates, and they had to make a gatekeeper and a monster behind the gate. So that's what I did, and this is my gatekeeper. His name is Lucius. He's supposed to be this young little dude who's guarding the gate, and he's maybe not, you know, old enough to do that, so he kind of keeps falling asleep, and he's a bit sloppy with it, so he actually lets the monster get into the world from the other dimension. And this is the monster. His name is Tenebrae. I gave both of them these kind of runes on their armor. They are just a bunch of nonsense. I just made a bunch of different symbols onto them. There's no real story behind it, but I just thought that it would look cool. Would make them look kind of mythical. And these are actually also up for grabs on eBay currently, but they are being sold separately because I thought that they are individual enough to potentially go to separate homes. So in the 6th episode this season, the makeup artists were asked to create these Star Trek characters and then kind of make them into something more contemporary looking, or something that could be in the next generation of Star Trek. I personally have never watched Star Trek, so I can't really say if this fits in or not. It probably doesn't, but I just decided to make this little party girl alien, and I find her very adorable. Her name is Symphony, and she loves listening to music, and this little dress is something that I designed for her specifically. I think it's quite cool, and she is also currently up for grabs, and I'm just going to show you her little details in her face because that's what I love the most about her. So for the 7th episode of Face Off, the makeup artists were asked to turn male models into females, and they actually made them based on characters from Shakespeare's plays. Now, because LPS don't really have genders, because they're all pets, they can be anything that you want, I just decided to make this little LPS based on Ophelia from Hamlet, and she is a little bit crazy. She apparently goes crazy in Hamlet, and that's what I thought, you know, it would be cool to just make this little puppy that's completely crazy about these flowers. So she picks a flower one day, but then that flower is actually poisonous, and she gets a little bit cuckoo and she starts putting all these flowers on her and can't get enough of them. So that's the story behind her. But I just wanted to make her really cute and pretty, so I don't really know. The backstory sounds a little bit like maybe not so sweet, but I just wanted to make her into this adorable little thing, even though she's kind of crazy. She's also actually up for grabs currently on eBay. So the 8th episode of Face Off this season was slightly different. They had a challenge called the Gauntlet, which was actually like 3 little foundation challenges after each other. But the last challenge was a little bit more elaborate. They had to make a hero makeup and then 2 sidekicks, and one of the themes was angels. So I thought I'm just gonna make a hero angel custom. Her name is Ray, and yeah, I just got really inspired by this color scheme of having this really nice light blue and these oranges and yellows, and I just went for it, and I think she's very pretty. She will actually be up for grabs on eBay next week, so keep your eyes open then if you are interested in adopting her. As I might have already said, the link is in the description to my eBay shop, and if you don't remember it later, then you can just remember that it's the same name as my YouTube channel, so if you just Google eBay and PSL Customs, you should be able to find it very easily.